Castlemaine, 7-3-45 lead Gisborne. 6-2, 38 mate.
Well, Castlemaine will be delighted with their form this year. You know, they had a difficult year last year, but they're going on with it. It's only round 3, early days, but we're here at the third quarter between Woodend, Hesket and Macedon, and it's over to Christine.
Yes, here on 100.7 Highlands FM, rocking the RDFNL at Romsey Park today as Cheddle. He won the free kick, and not the most attractive kick you've ever seen in your life there. He's just turned the ball over now, and Johnston inside the forward 50 of the Cats to Kernan. The ball we had a chat to Joffa about at half time. So Kernan will have a shot at goal, going for his second.
What an easy possession to give up. I mean, they had gained the ball at the midfield, Woodend Hesket. A poor disposal over to the defensive flank, and it opened up the opportunities for Macedon now to be kicking on goal.
Kernan, it fades across and it goes through for a behind, but good signs early. If you're a Cats fan, they've taken this margin out to a game high, 48 points. How's that?
Yes, and let's hope that Woodend can get it out of their defence, but they can't get it out of their defence.
They can't. They've turned the ball over now. Yep. Sean Harrison sells some candy to Shaw. Chance here for Clough. It fades across the face. A goal. Still on the chance there for Cook. Swings around. Sells some candy. Kick a goal, damn it. That'll be sensational for us. And a Highlands FM goal of the day. No, it's back to Kernan. Back to Keneally. 35 out. He's curling it up to the top of the square. Hawks will fly. Yes. Kenny's the man in front. Ball hits the deck. And we'll see a ball up 15 metres out from goal. But Cook, he was teasing us.
Yes, he was, and a lot of offensive pressure there by Macedon, and Woodend retaining them just at the moment.
That's right there, Douglas. Ball up almost to the top of the other goal square there for the Cats, kicking to the right of mid aisle. All the tennis courts end. And we will see another ball up from identical position. Slowly.
No, just be careful here, fellas.
Jets here for the other Cats, 48 points to the good. 31 to 83. Sorry, but that's not the one there. Chance here, though, for the Cats. Inside their forward pocket there. Clough handballs over to space. Tries to find a teammate there, 15 metres out from goal. And 12-9, 81 to 5-1, 31. So I've got to get my maths there right.
Wood and Hesket are just under a great deal of pressure, aren't they, Chris? This is the start of the third quarter. They know they've got to bounce back, and they're under extreme pressure.
They are. They need the first goal here of this second half. They've got the talent on the park to do it. As Burt comes across half-back, switches across the outer side. Mark taken there.
They've got to keep the ball moving.
Olivieri puts the ball up towards the other corridor. Nasty turn over there, and we'll see another ball up. Well, they just need to be pinpoint with their disposal now.
Yes, and related to that is pinpointing it, a bit of possession football, settle them down and have confidence in one another. Both sides, of course, are both got new players on both sides, so there's that's equalised out. That's the same for both clubs in playing the first round. Yep. New players on board.
That's exactly right. As the Cats try to clear, the goal goes a little bit too far between wing and half forward. Free kick to the Hawks. To Burke, I think.
Just a couple of Woodend Hesket players, if they just give them a little bit of leadership, a bit of inspiration, and that can rub off to their teammates.
Yeah, they're the opening goal just to cause some confidence somewhere down the line. Ball 55 to 60 metres out from the Hawks goal. Umpire Mick Partridge just letting it go, waiting for that ball to come out. Ball comes out now to the Hawks. Kick up towards centre half forward. Who's going to be the one to fly? It's Mel Meldrum that goes crash, bang. Ball hits the deck. Gathered here by the Cats. And was he taken too high? No, he wasn't. Set up by Mick Partridge. Ball up towards the middle of the ground now for the Hawks. Right wraps up his opponent.
No.
We'll see a ball up. Will we? Holding the ball. Free kick.
Terrific pressure from Macedon and Woodend Hesket. When they get the opportunity, they've got to be able to open it up and be able to have their teammates further down the field to give the lead to the fellow who has the ball. It's called possession football, either by hand or foot.
That's right there, mate. Ball up towards half forward now, commentary side. Here for the Hawks. It's gathered here by Stevens. Shrugs off his opponent. Looking for a teammate there. And his coach, he overcooked it now. Cunningham there for the other Hawks. Players just crash, bang. 20 metres out from goal, all over the place now as the pack forms. And we should see a ball up. Ball still in contested play. Mick Partridge letting this one go. And we'll see a ball up. I think might have some around the grounds there.
Yes, I think it's much the same as you just said a moment ago. Melbourne and Adelaide, 3 points the difference.
Yeah, that's right there, mate. Free kick, throw, and goal there for the Hawks. Here on Highlands FM, Dougie, that was a good.
Yes, but needed badly. A scrambled goal, but they got it. That's the main thing. And under pressure, and let's hope they can get it back, get possession of the ball when the ball comes back for the throw up to be able to get the ball away from the midfield again, Chris.
Do we know who kicked that goal?
They need follow-up goals.
Do we know who kicked that goal, mate? Yeah, that's all right, mate.
Number 7, Chris.
Number 7.
I haven't got the numbers in front of me at the moment.
That was Ben Toman. Kicked that goal. Much needed one there for the Hawks, so we apologise to those at the ground. We'll be back with them in a moment. We've got that hammer on the mighty cord.
It's on there.
Yeah.
Do you want it off?
Yep, thanks, mate. Legend. Yep, here on 100.7 Highlands FM. As the Hawks, they've got that goal there through Ben Toman just to start this term. We thank you for your company wherever you may be listening. The ball goes out towards the outer side at the 7-minute mark here of this term. It's back out to 44 points the margin. Here on Highlands FM footy. There's a free kick and it goes to the Hawks. I think we've got the around the ground sorted now as the ball jets up towards left half forward scoreboard side. It's gathered there by Burgess there for the Cats. Out to Hildebrand. Out to a teammate coming through. A kick up towards the middle of the ground. I think it was Ben Toman who kicked that one. Number 7 there for the Hawks. As the ball shoveled out now to that man in question who just kicked the goal moments ago. And we'll see a boundary throw in on the outer side.
For those who've got their records in front of them, well, Ben Toman is wearing number 7 for Woodend Hesket, who kicked that last goal.
Yeah, he is that sort of player there, the former Hawks and Assumption boy. Good to see him playing some good footy here. We've seen him kick some goals in games where we've covered a kite for the Hawks in the past. As rucks go up again, the Cats have got some numbers there on the outer side. To Keneally. Keneally inside the forward 50 to Kenny. Outmarked strongly. And Cats supporters, they're getting excited on what is on offering here from the great forward there, Dougie.
Well, their delivery to him has been very good, but there have been other players that featured in their play, and they're getting possession of the ball and making good use of it.
Yeah, they are.
The couple of times in that second quarter, in fact that goal, or the 2 goals that we saw before half time, they're just examples of that, and well done to Macedon.
Here's a chance here for Kenny. Oh my goodness gracious! Harrison went up for a screamer, but it was already over the line. By golly, by jingo, by crikey, Kenny. I know you're listening at home, mate. The crowd stood up in excitement. That is a point, though.
Well done to Woodend Hesket. They've brought it out of defence very well. That's good to see.
Just giving themselves some confidence now.
And down to the forward line now. They've got it with their offensive pressure. They've got to be able to keep it there. But the free kick, Chris, with someone grabbing at the ankle.
Yeah, exactly. They need to make the most of it now.
Yes, another free kick.
Kenny's kicked a couple for the Cats. He's doing all the right things early. And his first game as a Cat. Just got back here on the commentary side. Spears the ball up towards the middle of the ground. Great mark there by Kernan. He plays on. He's got Kenny in his sights. Was he held on to? He comes from behind. Ball hits the deck. Where's the Crummers? Chance here for the Cats. 40 metres out from goal. Right to Clough. Over the head was looking for Keneally. Ball heads out towards the boundary line. Sock it off the ground there. Hoping to try and get it to Kenny. We'll see a boundary throw in right forward pocket, Dougie.
Yep, and good to see Gribek out there. I think related to Joe.
Yep.
Does great work with youth and the police force. Joe Gribek, well noted and well known in the region. Good to see Todd out there.
Yeah, certainly doing a great job there, wearing the number 34 this afternoon. And Hawk is wrapped up there. We'll see a ball up. In fact, no, a free kick. It'll go to the Hawks. Right foot kick. Finds Harrison there on the outer side. Knows this ground very well. The former Redback. But he spears at the opposition. That's Burgess. Right foot kick there from Burgess to Johnston. Umpire call tells him to play on now. Goes back now to Burgess in the middle of the ground here at Romsey Park. It's a hefty margin. Yes. Kenny Marks, second grab. That'll do. It's at this present time. It's 12-10-82 to 6-1-37. It's 45 points the margin. But Dougie, if Kenny kicks this, it'll be game high, 51.
Yes, and Hamish Govan tried to do the right thing for Woodend Hesket. A lot of courage there. He was dropping back as the big fellow Kenny was coming with his man, and he was making a contest of it. But Kenny too big for Hamish Govan, and the defender couldn't punch the ball away from Kenny.
And Kenny goes bang, kicks his fourth here on Highlands FM, and he sends the margin out to 51 points at the 12-minute mark here of this third term. The Premiership quarter, Dougie, and the Cats doing all the right things earlier on.
So what, they brought the ton up?
Yep.
Or close to it? No, not yet.
13-10-88 to 6-1.
No, not yet. 98.
Remember the
68-88.
Remember the last time we saw the other Cats here, Dougie? They got annihilated by Romsey to the tune of 25 goals. It's nice to see they've come back to Romsey Park. They've gathered their confidence as a club. We're seeing two different sides, completely different opposition, of course, but it's a big change. They need to get that confidence going, and they come away with the win here today. It's perfect.
So they've been able to share the goals around on the forward line, Macedon. 4 to Kenny, 3 to Jason Cook, and 3 to Matt Johnston.
Yep, they're doing all the right things. 10 goals between them now. It's
playing with confidence here, Chris, coming down the corridor.
That's right. Plenty of run. They're taking the game on. A kick there from one of the stars there of the Cats. Ball up towards half forward. We'll see a ball up. Quick around the grounds. Thanks to our friends at Buffalo Sports and the Hang Rock Winery. And it's half time. It's 14 points the margin in favour of Castlemaine over Gisborne. As Kernan spears the ball into the ground over the head of Keneally. Doesn't matter. Lands in the arms of Mr. Harrison.
Sean Harrison gets his second. And there were three Macedon players there. In fact, one, the ball coming towards him, he had his back to the ball, and the other two forwards facing where the ball was coming from. There was three Macedon players, no Woodend Hesket player.
Almost as though if the ball went to a contest and they were there for the crumbs, waiting for that opportunity to come.
Yes. But
slipped out to Harrison. He went bang and kicked truly.
Indeed he did.
And just over at Eagle Hawk, and Eagle Hawk to kick 7 goals to 3 against Kyneton at the moment in the second term. They lead 11-9 to 5-5. So they lead that one by 40 big points. Rucks go up again here. Meldron, he tapped it and always said it to himself. He goes, yo, barrel! That's what we want to see, Douglas.
Yes, it's right from the midfield, and he felt he was on there.
Ball at the point of the centre square. Clough socket off the ground, soccer style. Not forthcoming. Keneally bumped off the ball behind play. He's just taking a little bit of time to get to his feet now. Stevens gathers, sends the ball up towards the middle of the ground. Oh my goodness! Sean Harrison takes an absolute screamer, and I know there were photographers down there.
And down the centre of the ground to McKinney. Well, from Sean Harrison after a top mark. He got the ride, came on the shoulders of the Woodend Hesket's opponent, landed well on both feet, landed balanced, got balanced, kicked and down the ground, and now Marcus Kenny is going for his 5th.
Now, jump on the RDFL website this week. 15-minute mark, third term. Watch that over and over and over again as Kenny goes bang, puts through his 5th. And we're seeing the highlight reel come out. We are seeing some of the great goals, the great marks right in front of us. What a return to the Cats here. What a return to form.
Yes.
Different side from 2015.
And when you're watching that, if you're watching on the video, but those are at the ground to appreciate what happened there. Sean flew high and he landed with balance. And then he was balanced enough to get it down to the full forward, down the goal square from the midfield. Wonderful play, Sean Harrison.
Those are the highlights. And for us, Dougie, right in front of us at the 16-minute mark of the third term. How good was that? 15, now we can say the done now. 15, 10, 100 to 6-1, 37, 63 points the margin in favour of the Cats. And they look to get jet set again.
They're just so wanting the ball so much, Chris. Their endeavour is so obvious.
That's exactly right. Now as Bowen takes the ball with one hand there for the Hawks, puts the ball up towards a teammate there in the middle of the ground. He fumbles. That was, of course, Ben Morrison. Ball 60 metres out from the Hawks' goal. And still out there, it's sharked out there. I think that was Hildebrand who shoveled it out to a teammate coming through.
Yes. Well done, the Wood End Hesket player who retarded the Macedon player. Well done. That was Jesse Waters. And good. Let's hope that gives Jesse a bit of confidence because he's a player that is spasmodic. And if he was more consistent, he'd be a great value to Wood End Hesket.
Yeah, that's right. We have seen him in the past where he's been up and down with form and maybe attitude on the field, but he must kick a goal. He's got the 50-metre penalty.
All I'm saying there, folks, is that he has got ability. He's got to be able to put the package together. And that's what Wood End Hesket needs at the moment. That's what his coach would be expecting from him. That's what his members and fans would be expecting from the club. And let's hope that lifts him.
Well, that'll lift him there confidence-wise because he has put that through. And a much-needed goal. That is the understatement of the century, though, Dougie.
Yes, and let's see if he can carry on with it.
Now, I have a big question for you, Dougie. We've seen a new Hawks outfit as a 57 points of margin. Are the Hawks playing poorly or the Cats just too good today?
I think Macedon is playing very, very well. No doubt about that. But then you can only play as well as your opponent allows you.
Yeah.
It goes both ways, Chris. And I think that Wood End Hesket could have been defending better, could have been manning up better to prevent the Macedon players getting as much possession of the ball and the flow of their game.
That's a good point there, Dougie. Very well said. There's Chettle. He's dispossessed. The Cats through Miles. Just the wave of numbers coming through. Kernan, he goes up. He went up with the one juke. Hawks with some numbers. Handballed out towards the boundary line. It's taken out there on the outer side there by Hamish Govan, their former Bulldog. His Bulldogs aren't doing too well. His former club against Castlemaine at the moment. Ball now at half forward there for the Cats. Slide, I think, so trying to work his way around there, trying to work his way out of traffic. Cats now. Handball over the top. Is this Harrison again? Spotted up, Kernan.
The ball got out to him, but it was the hard work that was done inside.
Yeah, that's right. I'm still thinking about the 15-minute mark here of this third term.
Yes.
That mark there from Harrison.
Yes, the mark and the balance. And then when he slotted it down to the goal square for Kenny to take a mark and a goal. Splendid, splendid.
And here's a chance for Kernan to kick his second goal. It's coming. Has it got the distance? It's still in play. Just falls short and take it through for a rush behind. So the Cats push now to 15-11, 101 to 7-1, 43. 58 points the margin. And we've ticked on 19 minutes here in this term.
We know the last couple of years, Macedon have been developing, particularly last year it was evident, and Jeff Andrew, this year he's looking for further development, and that's a good start for the Macedon Football Club.
Especially when you've got the runner, Grant Sykes. What a talent at ruckman he is.
Yes.
He's doing the run-in duties just to work his way back into fitness.
Yes. As
Melitek, 60 metres out from goal there for the Cats, pops it up towards Kernan. He's the meat and the sandwich there. Ball hits the deck. Don't argue there from I think Chettle is G-A-W-N. Great to hear those words. Kernan pulls the trigger and kicks truly. Great teamwork, Cats. That is pressure at its finest. Game high margin now. 64 points at the 20-minute mark of the third term Highlands FM footy. And what an afternoon we've seen. And, of course, we thank you for your company. We'll be listening around the ground. Of course, We've got a few friends of ours listening over at the Rupo Sunbury Kangaroos game. We appreciate your company as well this afternoon. What a day it is here at Romsey Park.
Well, while Jack kicked that goal, I think a couple of his teammates were probably a bit disappointed he didn't handball it over to them, feeling that they were in a better position. But Jack let fly and he got a goal out of it. So we can say, well, fellas, I got it.
Yep, exactly. I think that's the confidence of the Cats as well. They are backing themselves. As it's 107 to 43 as Mills, bit quiet here in this term. It's taken there by Chettle. Bumped off the ball. Yep, that's all right after that contest there. And a mark taken there by Henderson in front of the scoreboard that reads a really good one if you are a Cats fan this afternoon. Although the kick wasn't flash at all, Douglas.
No, it's made it hard for the skipper.
They're in right. Ball shoveled out now. The Cats just working their way
out. They got out of it.
Through right, goes on his opposite foot. That was his left foot.
Yes.
It goes out of bounds. Quick around the grounds in the AFL, thanks to our friends at Buffalo Sports and Hangarock Winery, proud sponsors of Highlands FM. Essendon at the 25-minute mark of a third-term lead. Carlton 84 to 47 and Adelaide 39 lead Melbourne 30. Early stages third term. Rucks go up. Stevens brings it down to ground. Chettle sharks the ball and kicks it out of bounds on the full. Now, I think when we're seeing Stevens in the ruck there for the Hawks, Dougie, it's safe to say that the big man, Carl Rogers, will not be sent again today.
Yes, you would think he was a corky. We don't know whether it was a knee, a corky, or whatever, but yes, a big loss to Wood and Hesket, no doubt about that.
That's right there, mate, as Crawford takes a good mark there for the Cats up towards the middle of the ground. As the ball's speared in there from inside the forward line there from Morris here. Whistle's blown. Umpire says play on advantage. Taken there by Govan. Spots up and finds Bowen on the outer side. Whistle's blown. I think it was a 50-metre penalty awarded.
Yes, so Ross Slight has had to play the big man just down in the goal square, and he's limited with his mobility. But he was very effective in the ruck, and Alistair Meldrum was having to use all his experience to match him in the air.
Well, you certainly shut him out of the game. As Slight, though, falls to ground there for the Hawks inside the forward line. Now we'll see a ball up. We've ticked on. 22 minutes gone here in this third term. 16-11, 107 Macedon to 7-1-43. It's 64 points the margin. Here in Highlands FM footy. As rucks go up, ball hits the deck there for the Cats, and a free kick's been awarded, and it'll go to Wood and Hesket in the forward line, and to kick a goal to add some much valuable confidence. And I'll take a stab and say it's the coach, Ross Slight, going for goal number 3. Probably had a mixed bag of a day, Dougie.
Yes. So Wood and Hesket 7-1, Macedon 16-11. So very important for Ross to get this goal.
And of course, next week here on Highlands FM, we'll be back here for the unfurling of the 2014 Premiership flag as Romsey play host to Rupert's Wood, and that is a goal there from Slight. He'll take that every day of the week. You can see him just move forward, create an opportunity. He's usually like stroll through and kick his third. So he's given away a few, but he's kicked a few. That's been a mixed bag, but he'll take that.
Yes, and they'll need a few more goals to get more respectability to their score into the game.
Well, I think that's the key thing you mentioned there, Dougie. It is respectability. It brings the margin back now to 58 points. Let's see them capitalise. Maybe get a few more goals. Just to close out the term.
Yes, and that's all part of character, isn't it?
Because they do have the talent on the paddock. It's just the opposition just too good today. The Hawks did start the best side, 2 goals in the opening 4 minutes. As ball slips out now, the Hawks almost shoveled out there, kicked off the ground there. It's gathered there by Lynch there of the Cats. He's put under a bit of pressure. Goes back to Meldrum. Gives the don't argue and squeezed out a handball. Bashed forward. It's gathered here by Burgess. He falls to ground here right in front of us. Lynch, very good work. Oh, takes on 1, takes on 2, and finds young Togra back in the Cats. Great to see the youngsters, and hits a target, Dougie.
He does, very good, very good. Good peripheral vision. He could see his teammate out there to get the handball to him, and his teammate having taken the ball, has got the ball down to his teammate for a mark, and his other teammate has got it down now for his other teammate, 13.
That's Keneally.
Keneally to have a shot on goal.
Now, if I was the Cats at the moment, I know it's not happening at the moment, but I would get around Seamus Lynch, give him a pat on the back and say, well done, because he took a couple, found Grabak running through, and ultimately set up this goal-scoring opportunity for Keneally. He kicked an absolute blinder earlier on in the game, and we're right behind this one. Put it through.
It deserved a goal, that play. Well done. Well done.
Oh, at the 25-minute mark of the third term, we're seeing it all today. The Cats are running in numbers. They are backing themselves to the full extent. And Keneally kicks his second. Quick around the grounds in the AFL. And Essendon 30 points up over the Blues. And Adelaide 15 points up over the D's.
That's the biggest break for Adelaide because it's been around 30-33, 30-39, up to 43. So it's one of the problems that Paul Roos has had with his Melbourne teams, whoever's on the field, to be able to keep it tight all day.
Yeah, you're not wrong there, mate. There's a little bit going on here between Waters and Davies, the two number twos.
Yes, and right from the midfield, actually, right down to the forward line.
And Mick Partridge, the other umpire, I think he's seen something here, or he's just going out to... He's pointed the finger and said, I'm going to keep an eye on you guys. Meanwhile, the ball heads up the other end. The Cats attacking end, up to right. He tries to get away from that one, and we'll see a ball up. But I think Partridge, he's got his eyes on that contest over there between the two twos. Say that a couple of times. Wouldn't try it again. Ball now at centre half forward.
Yes, two experienced footballers, Jesse Waters and Jason Davies.
Yep, that's right there, mate. It is three-quarter time. The siren has sounded after a good 26-minute quarter. And it's the Cats 17-11, 114 to Wood and Hesket 8-1-49. We'll be back with the final term here on...
Was third and an equal fourth between 13 Scissor Kick and number 4 Lucky Hustler, and we're back to Chris Sheen for the last quarter of the Wood End Macedon game. Wood End Hesket Macedon game.
Dougie and Andy here on 100.7 Highlands FM. Great support from our legendary mate Birdo as the other Hawks press forward, kicking the right of Vidal. A barrel there from Gove. Ball hits the deck, 25 metres out from goal. Cats with some numbers. Great work there from Davies. Bang! Hits Morrison head on, gathers the ball now. Davies spins around and backtracks now by foot on the outer side. Finds a teammate there, and the Cats will look to settle early. They lead this one by a comfortable margin. 64 points, the margin. Harrison, kick 2 today here for the Cats. Finds Kernan, who's also kicked 2. And Keneally's also kicked 2 as well there for the Cats. It'd be fitting if he finds the great man. The trio plays, the umpire called play on. Kernan looks at the umpire and says, what about me? What was that? He said, did you not hear the whistle? As the Hawks press forward, here's a chance for Slight. Over his head, he's got Davies hot on his hammer. We'll see a boundary throw in 40 metres out from goal.
Well, let's see what Wood and Hesket can do this last quarter. Chris, a lot of character and respectability if they can put in a good quarter to just win the quarter. That would be a name in itself, to win the quarter.
Yeah, that is the absolute key. And of course, today we're the best on ground, Henry Rock Winery. Great supporters of our Highlands FM. We haven't got the bottle with us today, but we will get them there, no doubt about that. And there's a lot of contenders up there.
Yes, there are a lot of contenders spread around, Chris.
Which is good for us, or actually makes our life a bit more difficult, as we see a ball up about 40 metres out from goal. Quick around the grounds in the AFL while we can. Essendon 90, League Carlton 54, and it's 15 points the margin between Adelaide and Melbourne, 51-36. These AFL games, rucks go up, Stephen wins it down there for the Hawks. Ball inside the forward line, player tried to get away, and he wins a free kick for too high, Dougie.
Yep, and clearly the excellent conditions. The wind going across the ground, but no problems for people worried about what was going to happen at this stage of the day.
Yep, rain is going to happen later on, well and truly after this game is done and dusted. Ball inside the forward line there for the Hawks. And it's still in the field of play. Cats trying to work their way out of it. We'll see a throw in. And tomorrow, Dougie, we are going to get winter at its finest, mate. They're predicting storms, hail, the full shebang.
Oh, well, it's not the football tragics. They'll be watching their telly, will they? And the games coming through, whether they've got pay TV or free to air.
Oh, we're heading out to watch some junior footy, which returns this week in junior netball.
Yes.
If you're brave enough.
In the mornings, yes.
I did predict rain today, and we're not getting it. Thankfully, we're getting great sunshine here at Romsey Park as the Cats press the ball out of half back. Turnover to O'Loughlin. Very good play on his own right to shin the ball down to Waters there at ground level. Taken there by Malatek. He's dispossessed. Was he ridden to the ground? He was, well, too high. Free kick. Cats either way. course, we saw Militech in that under-18 semi-final last year. Just played the game of the century. Johnston kicked three goals early in the first half. Really sided since. Chance here for Govan. Picks it up. He's taken high, blindsided. No, he wasn't. Umpire was in good position. And a free kick to the Hawks. It's 17-11, 1-13 to 8-1, 49-64 points the margin in favour of the Hawks. He's Gove across half back. Finds his captain.
Yes, Woodend have got to be able to thread their way through. Looking down to the half-forward line, you could just a moment ago just see nothing but Macedon players, with a couple of Woodend players.
Cheddle will meet in the sandwich there for the Hawks right in front of us, gathered here by Tommy. Oh! Right foot kick inside the forward 50.
Good.
Spots up Morrison, who's done some nice things today. Not enough, though. He sends the ball inside the forward line. Who's the target? He's looking for Rodder, who pushed forward. Wasn't forthcoming. Young Ed Morrissey on the outer side. Knocks the ball towards the boundary line, and we'll see a throw in.
Quite apart from the positive way in which Macedon's gone about it from the midfield down forward, they've also their backline's done well, and they've been able to carry the ball out of the backline well too, which makes it easier for the forwards and for players further up the field, Chris.
That's right there, Dougie. They've just done all the right things that have been asked of them today. Morrissey off a standing step, looking for Lynch. He marks on the outer side. Tries to draw in a teammate by hand. That was Burgess. It was too high. Free kick. Umpire calls play on advantage.
Quite rightly.
Sorry, that's Harrison on the outer side, looking for Miles. And he threw that, said umpire Mick Partridge.
Well done, Wood and Hesket, retarding, because, again, Macedon were looking dangerous if they'd got past that opponent.
I think Bowen just kicked it into the man on the mark there. Should have gone back and taken a few extra steps. It doesn't matter. As Govan recovers, he goes back to a teammate there. Right foot kick. Up and under.
That's not the way to help your teammate.
No.
Particularly coming out of there, you've got to be able to play a bit of possession football, look for a teammate and kick it towards your teammate, not just kick it up in the air and in hope.
Yep. Well, they're still in here though, although we have a blind kick up towards half forward. Landed in the arms of two Cats. Keneally received it from Meldrum. Macedon up towards the middle of the ground now, and Mills. Jack Mills here for the Cats. He's looking for. That's not Burgess, is it?
That's a strong mark.
That's
good
right.
Overhead mark.
The captain of the Cats. Well, we spoke about his missing that first turn. We blazed in a goal with a bit of momentum. The tide's turned since then.
Yes.
As Wright's done it at both ends today, and he's going for his first goal. The captain.
Yes, and of course a couple of years ago at Tachura in the interleague game, the captain and the best player on the field won the award.
Well, I think it was about 70 points the margin that day, and he's now put the lead out to 70 points here at Romsey Park as the Cats game high margin now, 18-11, 119, 8-1, 49. And Wright kicks his first on the day, thanks to our friends at Buffalo Sports and Hanging Rock Winery, proud sponsors and supporters of Highlands FM football.
Yes, that day at Tachura, Tati.
Yep.
Good win by the Riddle District Football Netball League over the Kyabram District Football League, Netball League. And, of course, we've got the big game in May that we talked about in Sports Wrap, didn't we, before the game, about Nepean Football Netball League playing the Riddle District Football Netball League at the Tony Clark Oval, Macedon in May.
Yep, that's exactly right. Really much looking forward to that one. As Miles taking a ground there for the other Cats. It's gathered here by Gove. Right foot kick, switches it up towards the commentary wing, splits two Hawks and gathered here by Hildebrand. Almost bounces away from him, back to Meldrum. Left foot kick.
They're on again here.
Clough turns Gove inside out, swings around his right foot. Finds, is that Mills again?
Yes, and Macedon virtually going down in rugby formation, and I'm sure listeners will know what I mean, which is coming to our game. We've learned so much from rugby, and you can see it's developed in Australian football. Players just coming down the ground in formation.
Johnson has a flying shot at goal and misses to the far side at the 7-minute mark here of this term.
And of course we know that rugby's learnt a lot from Australian football too. It's interesting these days to see how many overhead takes have been taken by rugby and rugby league players and getting into the try. And a few years ago that was happening when the National Football League, the Australian Football League started off, and a lot of cross-pollination, if I can put it that way, between rugby league and rugby and Australian football, learning from each other.
Got a good education there, mate. Now as the ball, we'll see a ball up here about 60 metres out from goal. And of course, we've got our friend Berto here this afternoon,
Yes.
who's helped us out here today, doing a run in October, and he's doing it for Pete. So jump on the
Yes.
Facebook, type in "doing it for Pete." He's doing the run from Sydney to Piper Street in Kyneton. Make sure you get behind that. To set the website up, Facebook page up just the other week, and it's got over 500 likes. And David Parkin may be a very special guest at a function. later on
Wonderful. Parko, he does great work, gets around the different football areas. David does terrific work.
Of course, you can check out our Facebook page. We'll be having that on there on our page. There's Crawford Marks in the middle of the ground here for the Cats. We're doing it for Pete. So donate generously now. We keep plugging that right throughout the final, or throughout the season, as a free kick to the Hawks across half back. For a chop of the arms. Go to Harrison. Pretty quiet by his standards today. A lot of quiet Hawks who are quite good.
And one of the other things about the relationship between rugby, the rugby codes and Australian football is that we've learnt a lot from the rugby players about tackling with the players coming in opposite directions. And there's been a lot of that happening, and we've learnt a lot about ways of tackling players coming towards you in opposite directions.
Well, we've seen a bit of that today now as Macedon lead 18-12, 120 to Woodend. Hesket 149. And we just a casual 9 minutes gone here into this final term around the grounds in the AFL. At the next stoppage now is Gove. And that AFL update comes now as at three-quarter time, Essendon 14-6-90 lead. Carlton 7-12-54.
I wonder how Mickey Malthouse is feeling.
Oh, hopefully he's feeling miserable at the moment as the mighty Bombers keep sticking it to the Blues. Gotta love the rivalry there, I love it.
Yes, there's quite a rivalry. It goes back a long way, and many of our sprinklies can well remember the great tradition games between Carlton and Essendon, the days of Carlton when Ernie Henfrey, great player, Victorian Carlton player, captain, and of course the Essendon players, Dickie Reynolds, captain, coach. We can remember those Carlton-Essendon clashes. Goes back a long way. And people who are older than me can take it back even further.
Free kick to the Hawks there at half forward, between wing and half forward on the outer side. I think almost both sides almost going through the motions just a little bit at the moment. Just a slight. Concedes ground to Govan in the middle of the ground. He's drawn out Leveri. Here for the Hawks on his favourite left foot. An old worm burner, but it still worked to Gove. Almost tripped over his teammate coming through, and now the Cats. They'll rebound now through Kernan. Back to Hildebrand on the commentary wing. He spots up the wee man Johnston. Kicked 3 goals early in the first half today.
I'm right down the corridor again, and they're on again here.
And
That's
Miles.
Hamish Miles.
He fumbles it,
Yes.
recovers, goes towards the pocket, kicks it into 2 Hawks. They collide with him, and we'll see a ball up. That's probably a good outcome for the Cats.
Yes.
Because it ricocheted back to him.
Yes, it could have come back from Woodend Hesket, and they've been in attack again.
And Gisborne trailing Castlemaine by 12 points, and Kyneton trailing Eaglehawk by 44.
I like the way that Macedon have approached the game overall in their running game, but they've had numbers around the packs and then coming down through the ground.
Well, it's 3 men going to that contest there, and it's Mills that wins it out. He shins the ball out to an opponent coming through. That's Morrison. And we'll see a ball up there at half forward. 18-12, 120 Macedon, Wood and Hesket 8-1-49. We have just ticked on 11 minutes gone. Final term, Highlands FM footy. Thanks to our friends at Buffalo Sports and Hanging Rock Wine, proud sponsors of Highlands FM.
The other thing too is I think that Macedon's pace generally has worried Wood and Hesket, Chris.
That's right, certainly worried them. It's worrying them here as Davies rebounds off half-back, spots up his captain, can't quite take it on the third attempt, draws in a teammate well in Jessup, handball in ball towards Lynch. What's he going to do with this one? He's going to go on his opposite left foot, tried to spot up Burgess.
But well done, Wood and Hesket, that was good defence.
Well, right, hit the ground running.
But he couldn't get it away. He could not dispose of it to get it away. He did well in his attack on the ball, but could not get it out of defence.
And
a
that's
turnover and a goal.
Was that Hayden Doric? Either way, number 38 there for the Cats. Kicked a big goal, big time goal. That's pressure at its finest. And the Hawks, they trail by a game high margin now, 77 points. And the alarm bells are ringing.
Yes, that was Hayden, and Hayden is in the team list. We've got him there.
Yep. That's right now, 19-12, 126, 8-149. You're listening to Dougie, you're listening to Andy, and our great mate Berto here is supporting us today. We're doing it for Pete. Jump that into your Facebook search engine and find out about the great work that he's doing in October as Tommy O gathers the ball here on the commentary wing, puts the ball up to half forward.
Well done.
Morrison kicked the couple, being very quiet though. Outside that period, puts the ball up towards the corridor. Chance there for Slight. Ball hits the ground, and now the Cats with some numbers. Through Lynch, who's got all the time in the world. A mongrel-looking kick, but it'll favour them because it bypassed Toman and found the wee man in there. And Johnston brings it into the corridor to Lynch, and it's chopped up there by Leveri. Almost had his head taken off there by Kernan. It's bouncing around the ground there somewhere. Got to reattach it. Free kick. The Hawks. The commentary wing trail this one by 77 points against arch rivals. Ball comes out now.
A scoop.
It was an old-fashioned scoop. The shovel. And I'm pretty sure the pail was...
It was on the blind side of the
bucket was there too. Like a day at the beach. It's been so warm out here at Romsey Park. Players working up a sweat as Mills almost shins it to opponent out there on the... teammate there in Morrison. Back to Davies. He's done some nice things in this term for the Cats. He's been pretty quiet. The ball hasn't just been down in the defensive line. And the Hawks...
let's see if they can maintain possession.
Livieri, 77 points the margin at the moment. As Castlemaine have kicked away to an 18-point lead against Gisborne. Deep into the third term as a 50-metre penalty has been awarded. And Cunningham been pretty quiet today for the Hawks. Just been outclassed today, the Hawks.
Ethan Gove just coming on for the coach, Ross Lee, who's looking as though he's got to maybe have a slight leg injury.
Well, it might give him a chance to spend some time on the sidelines and assess the damage, what needs to be done for next week when they take on Riddle at Riddle's Creek Reserve next week.
That'll be quite a test, won't it?
It will
Not
be.
that this one hasn't been, but that's quite a test against Riddle.
Diggers Rest are all over Riddle at the moment.
Yes, notice they've been doing well, Diggers Rest, and of course been runners up the last couple of years, Diggers Rest.
That's right.
On one occasion to Riddle.
Yep, one occasion too many though, I think, as Ambler marks. I think they've lost about 2 or 3 grand finals.
Yes.
To Riddle over the time.
Yes.
Arch nemesis.
And of course, they were runners up last year to Romsey, and the year before, as Chris and I were talking about, to Riddle. And today, Diggers Rest doing well.
Ambler marks inside the forward 50 here for the Hawks to bring the margin down to 12 goals. Right side for a right footer. Hasn't played much foot in the last 12 months. And he misses to the far side. Max Ambler there for the Hawks. So back to 76 points. And we're into the 15-minute mark here of this term. So both teams going through the motions here.
Yeah, as far as the scoreboard's concerned, Wood and Hesket are doing better on the scoreboard, but Macedon still winning the quarter. It'd be great if Wood and Hesket could just be motivated, keep going. It's very hard work when you're so far behind, just to really dig deep and see if you can win the quarter.
Well, that was the Hawks' first score since the 24-minute mark, and that's basically the first score in 17 minutes of footy. As Morrissey marks on the outer side. Be exact here today. And Waters goes back with the flight of the ball. Umpire said no, he didn't have control. On the outer side, that's Shamish. Lynch is like a little fox terrier, just keeps nipping at the heels, and he'll never back down. And we'll see a ball up between wing and half forward outer side. It's 120 Macedon to 50 Wood End. Sorry, 126.
I'd be surprised if Wood and Hesket haven't learnt a lot out of today's game. And, of course, for the coach, the new coach, being a playing coach, you've got to rely on the others that are around you in your coaching panel who are not on the field to be able to back you up and support you and to share their thoughts about the different players and the strategy of the day.
Well, Toman sends the ball forward and finds Ambler about 30 metres out from goal. And I guess from Slight's point of view as well, he needs to lead by example too. He's done some nice things, but it's the bad things he's got to look at and say, guys, we need to get our head in the game, because that's the difference at the end of the day. You might be losing, but if you're focusing on the ball, then you're likely to be in the contest more often than not, and at times it hasn't quite happened for the Hawks.
Yes.
As Ambler, he fades away again to the opposite side.
Yes, winning the ball in the contest, and how do you go about that? There's a lot of psychology in football, quite apart from your own skills and physique and so on. It's how you go about winning the ball and getting possession, and you've got to be able to contest all the time while you're out there on the field. And if you can do that, you've got a chance of getting some respect for your own side, for yourself and for the team.
Inside the forward line again now. Stevens shovels it out now to Tommy O, but it misses him and lands in the arms of it's Govan. He's done some very nice things here for the Hawks in this final term, but Meldrum takes a mark on the very last line of defence. We're seeing a few players cramp up from both sides. 75 points the margin. We did this fixture last year, round 1, and we got a different result. Ryan Hickenbotham kicked the goal after the siren to give give the Cats the win. But then, mate, we have to come here that night and see Romsey beat Broadford by about 10, 11 goals. So we saw the best and worst of footy in the space of 7 or 8 hours.
Yes, and we're in the real time of 2015 on the 18th of April. And, yes,
we're back
a different day, a different time.
Exactly. Back here next week from 4:30 p.m. It's Romsey v Rupo. As the chance here from Leveri. Question of accuracy. He's got it. Trent Leveri.
The field umpire and the goal umpire having a conversation, Chris.
Well, maybe did it hit the post or was it touched? Umpire Ben Scott, one of the finest young umpires coming through, and it's hit the post.
Bad luck, but that's good to see Wood and Hesket attacking. That's good.
Yep. Even though it is in junk time, it doesn't matter. You take that confidence.
Exactly.
At the 19-minute mark of return, we've just seen 2 goals kicked, back to 74 points. I must admit, I did tip the Hawks coming into this game. Did not expect this at all.
Well, it's the first round of the year, and both sides having new players as well, changes in their teamwork. It takes 2, 3, 4 rounds just to get a greater feel of how things are going.
That's right there, mate. And of course, after the game, we'll catch up with one of the players on the ground, and hopefully catch up with Jeff Andrews as well. I'm looking forward to catching up with Marcus Kenny.
Yes.
But make him as one of the boys to catch up with us. We see a boundary throw in on the outer side. Quick around the grounds in the AFL, and Carlton are making a bit of a comeback. I say that unfortunately, as Essendon 98, lead Carlton 76, and Melbourne still trail by 13 points against Adelaide. It's 58-45, so they're still in the Ds.
They are, and it's much tighter than a lot of people expected, and that's good because Adelaide's been performing well.
They are on top of the ladder at the moment. As the Cats, they'll advance to the top of the ladder, depending on Sunbury Kangaroos v Rupo. And a turnover there, easy
disposal again, isn't it? Disposal and peripheral vision and looking exactly. Okay, where are your teammates? What are the options for you?
Hildebrand here for the Cats. Tries to spot up, go back just over his head. Shepherd overcommitted as Mills picked it up. Doubles back now to Jessup. Just throws the ball on the right foot. Strong jukes to Harrison. Kicks it to the Rodder coming through. 25 metres out from goal. Still pushes inside the forward line there for the Cats. And we'll see a rush behind. Oh, the bounce of the ball. It's just quite remarkable as we've ticked on 21 minutes here in this term. Back to 75 points. Ball in the middle of the ground. Clough is dispossessed. Styles, he's taken a ground. Just squeezed a handball out now to go. Back towards Cunningham on a half back there for the Hawks scoreboard side. Right foot kick up and under, and Wright's got all the time in the world. And I love the work there from the captain. He just keeps going as Malatek.
Yeah, I think as the game's progressed, you can see the skipper, he's getting back into gear again.
Well, he was hoping to get on Port Melbourne's list for season 2015. As we'll see a ball up there about 35 metres out from goal. Hawk was a meat in the sandwich there, taking a little bit of time to recover, but that'll do it here after. Well, we saw just 2 goals for that term, Dougie.
Yeah, good, well done, Wood and Hesket, because it was more competitive. They would have liked to have won the quarter, but gives a bit of respect. But it's a very convincing win to Macedon, 19-13 to 8-4. Wood and Hesket. Well, Chris, you're going to catch up with a couple of people out there.
I'll get out there and do some exercise, mate. I haven't done that much today. I'll let my fellow umpire do a lot of the work this morning. So, yeah, as usual, I never do any of the work.
Well, there we are. We've had a good result here for Macedon Football Netball Club. They've done well on the Aussie Rules field. A convincing win, 19-13 to 8-4. Macedon Football Netball Club at the Romsey Oval against Wood End Hesket, who were the home club at the Romsey Park. And I just want to quickly look forward to what's happening in round 2, which is the Anzac round. And let's see what's happening there. Macedon will be at home to Melton Centrals, and that will be an interesting contest, I think.